Think back to when you first did algebra. You're probably confused. Why is that? Because you had letters with math. What kind of sense does that make? And then you realize when it says 3 plus x equals 5, that it's just a subtraction problem. And then it got much easier. My name is Paul Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com. Today we're going to look at Test 6, Section 3, Number 10, which involves an average problem, but it's a way of looking at the average problem that you probably have not encountered before. Number 10 reads, Jamie is preparing for a bicycle race. Her goal is to bicycle an average of at least 280 miles per week for 4 weeks. So, two things here. Number one, it's easier in many cases to do the problem in pieces as you go. And there's also a rule for averages. And I'm going to show you the proof for the rule, but you don't have to do the proof every time, just know the rule. So most of the time in math class you do this. You get the average, that equals the sum, you got to add all the values on the top, over, I'm going to put HM for how many. And that's how you figure it. For SAT, what's easier to know is, I'm going to give you the rule, but first I'm going to show you where it comes from. If you're to multiply both sides by how many, see the how manys would cancel on the right, and what you'd get is that you've got to multiply the average by how many in order to get the sum. If I'm doing that, and I'm doing this problem in pieces as I go, then what I'm going to do is, I see that there's at least 280 miles per week for 4 weeks. I'm going to do 280 times 4. And this is, I guess it's no calc math. But anyway, you don't actually have to do this. When you look at the answer choices, it shows you the form. And if you know 280 times 4, that's your average times how many, equals the sum, then you have your 280 times 4 over here, and that's going to equal the sum. We've got to make sure that it's the sum of those 4 things, but let's investigate that. He bicycled 240 miles the first week, 310 miles the second week, 320 miles the third week, and which inequality can be used to represent the number of miles, X, Jamie could bicycle the 4th week to meet his goal. So, in fact, it would be the sum of 240, 310, 320, and X that would have to equal that total, which is 280 times 4. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You could share it with someone who has trouble with average questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. One thing before we go, why are the wrong answers wrong? Well, in answer choice A, you're just getting the average of 3 and not 4. It's all 4 weeks here that are involved. In answer choice B, you're multiplying the average, which is 280, by the unknown number of miles for that week. That doesn't make sense. That's going to give you a huge number. In answer choice C, you're dividing each of them individually by 4, but the X is not divided by 4. Otherwise, that would be a correct answer. So that's why the wrong answers are wrong. I will see you next time. Have a great day.